Did you know there's a country in South America where a United States citizen can lock in permanent residency for less than $400 in government fees? Or that another country on this same list requires nothing more than $1,000 a month in Social Security income to hand you a permanent resident card with no expiration date? How about the fact that one of these options sits just a 3-hour flight from Miami, operates entirely in United States dollars, and lets you pay zero local income tax on your pension, your Social Security, and your investment income, all for a government processing fee that costs less than a single month of health insurance premiums back home? Well, moving abroad isn't just for the wealthy or the adventurous anymore. For a growing number of Americans on fixed incomes, modest savings, or a standard retirement check, permanent residency overseas has quietly become one of the most practical financial moves they'll ever make. The cost of living across most of the United States keeps climbing. The countries on this list are moving in a very different direction, so buckle up, because we're about to break down 7 countries where an American can lock in permanent legal residency for under $1,500 in fees. And the one at the very top of this list is so straightforward, it almost feels like a loophole the travel industry forgot to advertise. Let's start at the bottom of the list. First on the list is Bolivia. Most people skip right past it when researching residency abroad, which is exactly why it belongs here. Bolivia has the lowest financial entry bar of any country in Latin America. The government asks you to demonstrate roughly $300 a month in income to prove you can support yourself, with no dedicated retiree visa, no investor pathway, and no minimum bank deposit required. Bolivia uses a single specific purpose visa as the entry point to all long-term residency. You apply at a Bolivian consulate before entering the country, submit your documentation package, and begin the clock on your residency. The all-in cost with a local immigration lawyer runs approximately $2,000 total. If you go the do-it-yourself route, the government fees alone come to somewhere between $600 and $900, depending on whether you choose a 1-year or 2-year temporary residency card. Bolivia's territorial tax system is one of the cleanest on this list. It does not touch foreign income at all. Your American Social Security check, your pension payments, and your investment dividends arrive in your account untaxed by Bolivia every single month. Citizenship opens up after just 3 years of continuous residency, one of the fastest naturalization timelines in the entire Western Hemisphere. The catch worth knowing is temporary residents cannot be outside of Bolivia for more than 90 consecutive days without jeopardizing their residency status. If you are still splitting time between Bolivia and the United States, you need to track your absences carefully. For those willing to genuinely commit, the reward is significant. A comfortable furnished apartment in Santa Cruz de la Sierra, Bolivia's most modern and fastest-growing city, rents for somewhere between $300 and $500 a month. Bolivia is the most affordable permanent residency door in South America, and almost nobody is walking through it. The country that comes next is better known, but the total cost still surprises most people who actually look at the numbers. Our next country might surprise you: Paraguay. It has become one of the most discussed residency destinations among international expats, and the FEE structure explains exactly why. Paraguay's government fees for either temporary or permanent residency come to roughly $511 per person. The breakdown is worth knowing. The base immigration processing fee runs about $394, with another $117 covering your national identity card, your Interpol clearance, and your local police certificate. Americans face 3 additional requirements not shared by all nationalities: a federal FBI identity history summary, which costs $18 through the government's direct channel, a United States State Department apostille at $20 per document, and approximately $150 in certified Spanish translations of your key documents. Go the do-it-yourself route, speak basic Spanish, and your total comes in around $800 to $1,000. Hire an experienced immigration lawyer, which most non-Spanish speaking Americans strongly should, and budget $2,000 to $2,500 all in. In 2025, over 47,000 people applied for Paraguay residency, a 63% increase from the year before. That surge is meaningful. Paraguay's income-based pathway for retirees is equally practical. If your pension or Social Security benefit exceeds $1,300 a month, you qualify for the rentista visa. The average American Social Security check runs about $1,900 a month, already 50% above Paraguay's threshold. Paraguay operates a territorial tax system, which means foreign income of any kind is not taxed locally. After 3 years of maintaining temporary residency, you apply for permanent status, which carries no expiration date and never needs renewal. Paraguay also sits within the Mercosur trading bloc, giving permanent residents the right to conduct business across Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay. The country sitting above Paraguay on this list adds something Paraguay cannot offer, and it is a benefit that will matter a great deal in your later years. Moving up the list, we come to Peru. This one deserves close attention if you receive any kind of regular pension income. Peru's rentista visa, officially the independent means visa, is unique among the options on this list because it grants permanent residency status from the moment of approval. There is no temporary phase, no waiting period, no 2-year probationary stay you have to complete first. You apply, you get approved, and you receive indefinite residency. The income requirement is $1,000 a month in passive income, with an additional $500 required for each dependent you include in the application. For most American retirees, that threshold is easy to clear. The average Social Security benefit in the United States currently sits at around $1,900 a month, nearly double what Peru requires for a single applicant. Government processing fees for the application run approximately $50 to $100. Once approved, processing typically takes 30 to 60 days. After just 2 years as a permanent resident, you become eligible to apply for Peruvian citizenship. Peru allows dual citizenship, which means you keep your United States passport throughout. There is one practical friction point worth knowing before you start. Peru requires that your monthly income be transferred into a Peruvian bank account, but most Peruvian banks will not open an account without a residency card already in hand. It is a circular dependency that catches people off guard. An immigration attorney on the ground in Lima can navigate that loop for you before it causes costly delays. One more important detail: foreign pension income and passive income from foreign sources is exempt from Peruvian income tax. Your Social Security check arrives completely untaxed locally. After your 2-year permanent residency period, citizenship is achievable, one of the shortest timelines in Latin America. The next country on this list asks for a similar income level, operates an equally accessible system, and is currently attracting Americans at one of the fastest rates in the region. The next one is where things start to get interesting. Colombia rarely leads conversations about cheap permanent residency abroad, but the numbers hold up under scrutiny. The pension visa requires proof of 3 times Colombia's minimum monthly wage in stable income. In 2026, that works out to roughly $900 a month. If your Social Security check or pension exceeds that amount, and most Americans does, you qualify to begin the process. Visa application and government processing fees run well under $1,000. Medellin, Bogotá, Cartagena, and the Coffee region have all developed significant English-speaking expat communities over the past decade. The cost of living in Medellin, arguably the most popular destination for American expats in Colombia, runs between $1,400 and $2,000 a month for a couple living comfortably. That is a 40 to 50% discount compared to what a similar lifestyle costs in most major American cities. Private health care in Colombia is affordable and accessible. A specialist visit typically costs $25 to $50 out of pocket. Colombia does require 180 days of annual physical presence, a requirement introduced in 2022, which means you genuinely need to live there rather than maintain a paper residency. After 5 consecutive years of temporary residency, you apply for permanent status. The 5-year timeline is longer than several other options on this countdown, but Colombia's low-income bar, excellent and affordable private healthcare system, and the subtropical highland climate of Medellin make it a serious contender for Americans who are not in a hurry. The country sitting just above Colombia on this list gives you a faster path to permanent residency and adds a unique financial advantage that kicks in the moment you arrive. Now we're getting near the top of the list, and the next country is Ecuador. Ecuador's Pensionado Visa is one of the most practical retirement residency programs in South America, and the income bar is within reach of most Americans on Social Security. The government requires approximately $1,400 a month in pension income for a single applicant, a number indexed to Ecuador's minimum wage that adjusts periodically. For an American collecting roughly $1,900 a month in Social Security, that threshold is already cleared by a wide margin. The government processing fee for the application runs a few $100s. Once approved, you receive a 2-year temporary residency card that converts to permanent status after 21 months, provided you have spent at least 180 days per year inside Ecuador during that period. What makes Ecuador uniquely compelling compared to every other option on this list is the currency situation. Ecuador officially uses the United States dollar as its national currency. There is no exchange rate to track, no conversion loss on your monthly income, and no currency risk on your American savings. Your Social Security check lands in your account in the same denomination you spent your entire working life earning it. A comfortable retirement in Cuenca, a highland city with year-round temperatures in the low 70s, a UNESCO World Heritage Historic Center, and a large and established American expat community costs a couple between $1,600 and $2,200 a month, all in. Coastal towns and smaller highland villages run noticeably lower. Private health care is strong and affordable, with specialist visits running $20 to $40 in most cities. The main risk worth flagging is that Ecuador's political environment has been more turbulent in recent years than some other countries on this list, and anyone serious about making the move should spend real time there before committing. The country just above it on this list offers something none of the others can match: an entire year of visa-free living before you file a single piece of paperwork. Which brings us to the top two on this list, and the runner-up is Georgia, the former Soviet republic nestled between the Black Sea and the Caucasus Mountains. Georgia is different from every other country on this list in one critical way. Americans can enter visa-free and legally stay for a full calendar year without any paperwork whatsoever. No visa form, no government application, no fee. You land, you live, and you figure out over 12 months whether the country genuinely works for you before you ever commit to a formal residency process. That makes Georgia uniquely test drive friendly. For those who want to stay beyond the first year, the most accessible path for most Americans is registering as an individual entrepreneur or opening a small business, a process that can be completed in a single afternoon at a Georgian public service hall for almost nothing in fees. Georgia's government does not tax foreign source income of any kind. Your American pension, Social Security check, and investment income arrive completely untaxed locally every month. The cost of living is genuinely low. A modern apartment in central Tbilisi rents for $300 to $600 a month. Full restaurant meals cost $5 to $10. The capital has a vibrant and growing English-speaking expat community, extraordinary Georgian cuisine, and a distinctive history and culture that pulls people back. Georgia's path to full permanent residency requires 6 years of continuous temporary residency, longer than Panama or Peru. But the combination of a zero-fee 12-month trial period, minimal documentation costs, a zero-tax environment for all your foreign income, and an affordable and livable capital city makes Georgia unlike anything else on this countdown. Now for the country at the very top of this list, the one that does something none of the others can fully replicate. And the country at the very top, the one that combines the lowest all-in cost, the most genuinely permanent residency status, and a lifestyle Americans rate year after year as among the best in the world, is Panama. Panama's Pensionado program is the gold standard of retirement residency, and decades of consistent performance have not diminished what it offers. The income requirement is $1,000 a month in lifetime pension income from a government or private source. The average American Social Security check is nearly double that figure. Total costs for the Pensionado application, including legal assistance, document certifications, apostilles, and government processing charges, typically land somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500. Once approved, you receive a permanent resident card that carries no expiration date. You do not renew it. It is yours for life. Panama imposes no tax on any foreign source income. Your Social Security payment, your pension, your United States dividends, and investment distributions, none of it is taxable by Panama. As a pensionado, you receive legally mandated discounts of 20 to 50% on airline tickets, hotel stays, medical procedures, restaurant meals, and utilities at thousands of businesses across the country. These discounts are not informal courtesies. They are written into Panamanian law. Panama City's private hospital network includes facilities affiliated directly with Johns Hopkins University, where procedures routinely cost 50 to 70% less than equivalent care in the United States. A procedure costing $40,000 in Florida may run closer to $12,000 in Panama City, with comparable quality and English-speaking surgical teams. The country operates entirely on the United States dollar. Direct flights to Miami take under 3 hours. The Pensionado program has been running without meaningful interruption since the 1980s. For Americans whose goal is to dramatically lower their cost of living, access world-class affordable health care, and hold a secure legal status abroad for the rest of their lives, Panama is the clearest, most proven, and most affordable option on the planet. Here's what connects all 7 of these countries. They built their residency programs to attract exactly the kind of person many Americans already are: someone with a modest, stable income who wants a better quality of life for less money. The fees are lower than most people imagine, in most cases less than a single month of health insurance premiums back home. And the financial breathing room, the healthcare access, and the lifestyle on the other side are real. That said, the rules on this list shift. Income thresholds adjust annually. Government fees get revised. Processing procedures change. Before making any decisions based on this video, verify the current requirements directly with an immigration lawyer or the official immigration authority in your target country. The numbers also depend on your specific situation, your income sources, your family size, and how you manage your United States tax obligations while living abroad. As an American citizen, you file federal taxes regardless of where you live. An expat specialized tax advisor is a necessary part of this planning. What does not change is the fundamental reality. Permanent residency abroad is more accessible to ordinary Americans than it has ever been. The only question is which door you are ready to walk through.